Wouldn't it be amazing if you could get the inside scoop on what it's like to live in Canterbury in Thompson Station? What if you could learn exactly what the pros and cons are to living there from somebody with firsthand real-world experience? Well, now you can. My name is Matt Bogosian, and I'm a real estate agent with 𝐼 Realty. I also happen to live in Canterbury for 9 years, and I know exactly what it's like to live there. In today's video, I'm going to give you the pros and cons to living in Canterbury in Thompson Station. I'm not going to hold anything back, and I'm going to tell you exactly what it's like to live there. Before I get started, I did want to mention that all my contact information is in the description below, including my phone number, my email, and my website. And if you'd like to access my calendar, simply head over to workwithmatt.com and you can book a call with me on my calendar right there. All right, let's dive into the video. All right, so I want to start this video off on a positive note. So I'm going to start off talking about the pros to living in Canterbury. And the first thing I want to talk about is location. I absolutely love the location of Canterbury. Canterbury is located right off of Highway 840. And not only that, it's smack in the middle of Louisburg Pike and 31 or Columbia Pike. So the benefit of that is, first of all, it's really easy to get onto 840 and head over to I-65. And then from there, you can head to Brentwood, Franklin, and Nashville. Or if you want to head south, you can head down to Huntsville or down to the beach in Florida. Or if you stay on 840, if you go west, it's really easy for you to go to Dixon and then head out on 40 West towards Memphis. Or if you go east, you can go to Murfreesboro, you can jump on I-24 and head to Chattanooga, or you can continue on to like Gallatin. So the location is really nice if you think about it. Just because you have that access to 840, it just makes it so easy to get on the highway and travel around Middle Tennessee. And then on top of that, everybody wants to try to be as close to downtown Franklin as possible, and Canterbury's pretty darn close. I'd say it's about 15 or 20 minutes, and it's a really easy ride, and really you have 3 different options to get there. It's really, really convenient living in Canterbury in Thompson Station. Okay, the second pro that I want to talk about is there's a real strong sense of community in Canterbury. There's lots of friendly people, and a lot of those people really love to socialize. It's not uncommon for people to get together and cook out or watch a game together or maybe celebrate someone's birthday or one of their kids' birthdays. A lot of people form strong friendships and relationships that live in Canterbury. In fact, a lot of my good friends lived in Canterbury or still live there now. It's just that kind of place. Everybody's friendly, everybody's willing to socialize and meet new people. So if that's something you're interested in, especially if you're new from out of state and you want to be able to meet people efficiently as possible, I think you should consider Canterbury. Okay, the third pro that I want to talk about is community events. Canterbury does a really good job about having a lot of community events throughout the year. They usually hit every major holiday. 4th of July is absolutely insane. They'll do a parade for the kids during the day. The pool will be packed. Normally they'll get a fire truck and it'll shoot water up in the air and the kids can play under the water. And then at night, oh my gosh, the fireworks are absolutely insane there. If you don't like fireworks or if you've got a dog that's sensitive to fireworks, definitely don't move there because on the 4th of July, it gets loud. And then Halloween, oh my gosh, Halloween, that neighborhood is packed. There are kids everywhere. There are adults grilling food and handing it out for free. There's people with shots and coolers full of beer, handing out beer. It is such a good time. It is well known that Canterbury is the place to go for Halloween in Thompson's Station. And then you have all the other holidays like Easter. They'll do a little Easter egg hunt for the kids. They've got like a little fall festival type thing that they do in the fall, and they'll have like a barbecue cooking contest. There's a wine club, and I'm probably forgetting a bunch of stuff. But when it comes to like community events, Canterbury has got a ton of them. So if that's your thing, I think you would absolutely love it there. Okay, the fourth pro about living in Canterbury is they have a real wide variety of housing types that are in a pretty wide price range as well. They've got townhomes, they've got small single-family homes, and they also have large single-family homes. The townhomes are located up front, and then they actually built some new sections in the middle and towards the back, and those are really affordable. It's not uncommon for young families to start off in a townhome and then eventually sell that and move to a bigger home in the neighborhood. For single-family homes, they've got some one-level, very small single-family homes, maybe like around 1,800 to 2,000 square feet, and that's perfect if you're just a couple or a single person or maybe an older couple looking to downsize. And then for single-family homes, from there on out, they have anything from 2,200 square feet up to like 4,000 square feet. There's 2-car garages. There are some 3-car garages. There's just a wide variety of housing types and prices for you to choose from. And then the fifth pro that I want to talk about is the schools. Canterbury is zoned for some really highly rated schools. And not only that, the neighborhood is really close and it's convenient to get to those schools. Thompson Station Elementary and Thompson Station Middle are literally located like right outside of the neighborhood on Clayton Arnold Road. It would not be a problem for your kids to walk or to ride their bikes to school if that's something you're willing to let them do. And then for the high school, the neighborhood's zoned for Independence High School, which is maybe about a mile or so away. So if you've got an older teenager that's driving, which I'm sure is just scary, and you don't want them driving all over town, it's not a far drive for them to pop over to Independence High School. And all those schools, like I said, on all the school ratings sites are rated really well. So that is like huge. The schools are good and they're very convenient and close by to Canterbury. All right, so I told you guys I was going to give you the inside scoop, and I really hate to do this because I love Canterbury, but I'm going to have to tell you guys about the cons. The first thing I want to talk about is the Facebook page. Now, the Facebook page is loaded with all sorts of good information. If you need a handyman, an electrician, or if you need to list something for sale or ask a question about the neighborhood, there's so much information and so many people on there that are helpful. But there seems to be a lot of bickering back and forth about stuff that is just such nonsense on that Facebook page. So if you are sensitive to that type of stuff and it gets to you, I suggest you try to stay off the Canterbury Facebook page. I think it's pretty common in most neighborhoods for Facebook pages to kind of be like up and down with that kind of stuff, but especially leading into 2024, it's an election year. I'm sure there's going to be quite a bit of bickering on that page. All right, the second con that I want to talk about is the homes are just packed in way too tight. I don't know what the minimum is from Thompson Station as far as how far homes can be spaced, but the builders definitely went by the exact minimum. I mean, homes feel really tight together. Now, there are a lot of homes that have nice, big, spacious backyards, but when you get out front, a lot of the homes have small driveways, very small front yards. The houses are like up close to the street, and then your neighbors are really close on the left and right side of you. Now, with that being said, there are some really nice lots in the neighborhood that don't have neighbors to the right or left of them, or maybe they back up to green space so there's no neighbors behind them. That does exist, but they are few and far between. Just know you're going to kind of be close to your neighbor. When you go to get the mail, you might be like, hey, maybe you're out washing your car. There's going to be a lot of people that walk by and say hi and stop and talk. And that's fine if you're okay with that. That can be great if you're somebody new moving to the area. But if you're kind of over that and you just want like some more privacy, it might not be the best place for you. And that kind of leads me into my con number 3. When I first moved into the neighborhood in 2013, it was like really small and cozy feeling, and we all knew each other. We all hung out every now and then and had get-togethers, but over the years, the builders just kept building and building, and I think there's like 900 homes, maybe even more in the neighborhood now. It feels a little overwhelming. It's really big. To get from one end of the neighborhood to the other, there's all these like streets and it's all over the place. And it doesn't kind of feel like small and cozy anymore. And like I said, it's not a big deal. I mean, chances are you're going to meet a group of people around your immediate home, and that's going to kind of be like your core group of friends. But don't expect to know everybody in the neighborhood. I know there are some people that do, and they're just so great at socializing, but that can be really overwhelming for a lot of you. So if you're kind of looking for like a small, quaint neighborhood, it's not that anymore. It's a larger neighborhood and there's just lots of people there. And that leads me into con number 4. For some reason, people seem to park in the street there all the time, and it can be really frustrating. I don't know why it is. Maybe it's because the driveways aren't large enough. And maybe it's because you have families that have multiple drivers and they just don't have space in their driveway. But oh my gosh, every time I go into Canterbury now, I'm like, I feel like I'm dodging cars because you want to go around to keep going, but then a car is coming the other way. It's really frustrating. So that's a tough one. If that gets on your nerves, just know you're going to be dodging cars every time you come and go. And there are some where people are parking in the street, like near the entrance. It's really frustrating. I understand they're in a situation and they have to, but I'm just telling you, if that's something that gets under your skin, just be prepared for it because cars park in the street all the time. Okay, my 5th and my final con about living in Canterbury would be the road noise from Highway 840. And that really depends on where you live in the neighborhood. But if you live in one of the homes that's close and along 840, it can get a little bit noisy, especially in the winter. Now, I have some good friends that live close by and they don't mind it at all. They've grown to get used to it. And I tend to agree. I'll go over there and I notice it at first, but then I quickly get used to it. But I know for a lot of you, you don't want to hear that highway noise. So just know there are a lot of homes located close to 840 and it can get pretty loud, especially during like peak rush hours or traffic times on 840. So it's just something to be conscious about. Try to get a house like off of 840 deeper into the neighborhood and you should be fine. All right, guys, I hope you found this video helpful. Please just give me a little like if you could hit that button, maybe subscribe to the channel. But most importantly, if you're thinking about making the move to Canterbury and you'd like to discuss it in further detail, all my contact information is down in the description below. And if you'd like to book a call with me on my calendar, just head over to workwithmatt.com. All right, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Bye.